Hi everybody. This week in computer science, you are going to be working with something called a Makey Makey. So when you get your Makey Makey, it's going to come in a box like this. The Makey Makey should be on top. So this is the Makey Makey itself. These Ziploc baggies are very special baggies. They are not normal Ziploc baggies. They are anti-static Ziploc baggies. So in science recently, you should have been learning about electricity and static electricity. Static electricity can be very harmful to electronics, and so this baggie is designed to prevent any static shocks from jumping to the Makey Makey while it's being stored. You need to be really careful with this bag. If you don't know how to open a Ziploc baggie without ripping the bag, then you need to ask the teacher for help to open the baggie. Hopefully you are fifth graders and you are capable of being gentle and opening the baggie without ripping it. But if you think you don't know how to do that, then ask the teacher to do it, because these baggies are important and should not be ripped. All right, so we're going to put that aside for right now. Also in the box, you should have 6 little pin wires. We store them all wrapped up like this. When we use them, we untwist them to take them apart, and then we have 6 separate little wires like this. And when we're putting them away, we put them all into one neat line, and then we take it and we twist around and around and around until they are tightly wrapped together, so they will stay together. So that's how you put these away. You twist them back around and around and around until they are in a nice, neat little bundle. Okay. Next, we have our alligator clips. The first thing you need to know about an alligator clip is it has a plastic cover on the part you touch. You've just learned about insulators and conductors. All right, so I want you to stop for a minute and think, why does this alligator clip have a plastic cover? The teacher can call on someone now to answer. So the alligator clip has a plastic cover to protect you from electricity. It is acting as an insulator and protecting you. So should we remove it? No. Okay, we don't remove these. They are the way they should be. If you get one that is completely covering up the tip like this, then you move it just a little bit, but you'll start to feel some resistance and you stop there. So only the little mouth is poking out. To open an alligator clip, you hold it like this and you push down on the back end. It's a lever. Okay, kind of like a seesaw. So if you push the back, the front will open. So we push this part. We shouldn't need to touch the metal part with our hands. We should just be touching this, pinch the back, the front will open. All right, they're alligator clips because they look kind of like alligator mouths. Chomp, chomp, chomp. All right, so that's these. Do not remove the plastic covers. Just make them poke through just a little bit. Okay, the clippy end should be protecting your fingers. All right, they come in a knot like this. This is actually how they're supposed to be when they're put away. So they are in one nice, neat bundle. I'm going to show you how to put them back into a nice, neat bundle right now. Okay, so to untie, you undo the knot. And then you will have all of these different alligator wires. Okay. So we have all of these. To put them away, take the mouth of one, take the mouth of the next one, take the mouth of the next one, straighten them out, take the mouth of the next one, and the next one, straighten them out, mouth of the next one, mouth of the next one, straighten them out. So now we have one long line of alligator wires. You go to the middle, bend it in half. So it's just folded in half. Take it like this, fold it in half, half. Now, you're going to make kind of a P shape. All right, so we're going to loop it around my fingers to be the middle of the P. And now I have something shaped kind of like a P. It may be backwards in the video, but it's shaped kind of like a P. There's a hole here. Okay, and my pea has a tail hanging out over here. That's the tail we care about. And then all the little mouths are the bottom of the pea that are hanging down. Okay, so here's my pea. Okay, now I'm going to take these folded ends and push them through the hole in the pea. And then I'm going to pull the mouths and pull that folded end, and that'll give me a knot. And that's how you put these away. So one more time. You have them folded in half. Okay. The mouths are going to be the bottom of the pea. Bend it over. You can use your two little fingers through the hole to kind of help you. Okay. Make your pea. That's my pea. All right. Got that loop. Now I'm wrapping around and coming through the hole. And then I'm pulling that looped end and the mouth end, and that gives me a nice neat bundle to put these away. And the last thing we should have in our box is our USB cable. This is, of course, USB-A. This is another version of USB that is more specialized. So USB-A end goes into the USB-A port on your computer. The other end, again, we're going to open our Makey Makey really carefully. Maybe. There we go. Gently, gently opening. Gently removing. If any one of these pieces breaks off the Makey Makey, it will not work anymore. And we won't be able to do Makey Makeys anymore because we won't have enough. So be very gentle with this the whole time. If you are grabbing it by any of its pieces, it's going to break. Don't do that. We always hold it by the board itself. All right. So this end, USB-A, goes into the computer. The other end goes into the matching hole on your Makey Makey. Make sure you have it right side up. There's a fat end and a skinny end. Make sure they match. And it plugs in like this. I'm not going to plug it into my computer because if I did, anytime I clicked anything on here, it would start clicking on my screen and my video might go away. So I don't want to do that. All right, so we're pretending that it's plugged in. I'm going to unplug this, but yours will stay plugged in the whole time or it won't work, you guys. Okay, but if mine starts clicking things, I could lose my video, so I'm not going to use it plugged in. Okay, this is the front of the Makey Makey. Okay, sometimes we'll use this. Sometimes we'll use the back, which gives us a lot more inputs, a lot more ports. Okay, so on this side, all right, we have arrow keys, up, down, left, right, or right, left, depending on which way you're looking. We have a space. It says space right here. And we have a click, which says click right here. And then here along the bottom, we have ground. All right, so a Makey Makey works on the flow of electricity. If you don't have a complete closed circuit, will electricity flow? Hopefully you said no. All right, no. If the circuit isn't closed. So this bottom part here, to close the circuit, something has to be connected to it, and it has to join to the corresponding thing here to close a circuit. So if I'm using my fingers, I'm going to hold ground with one finger. That's what this bottom section is called. It's called ground. All right. And then I can touch click with my other finger over here. Actually, I'm going to switch fingers. All right. And over here, if I push right here, all right, it would light up. This little light would light up if it was plugged in, but it's not plugged in. This would be a mouse click. All right. Over here, I have space. So if I hold ground at the bottom and I press here, it would put a space. If I let go of ground and just touch space, nothing's going to happen. There's no completed circuit. It's working because I'm a conductor. Your body is more than 70% water. Water is a conductor, so you are a conductor. So anytime that you are completing the circuit, it's going to work and activate. All right, but you have to touch ground and something else. So when you start today, that's the first thing you're going to do to test it is just use you and your body, no wires at all. We'll accept the wire to plug it into the computer. All right, you're going to plug it into the computer. You are going to hold ground, and you are going to test click, and you are going to make sure that your mouse is clicking on the screen. All right, it's not going to move your mouse, but it will make it click. All right, so that's the first thing you're going to do to test. The second thing that you're going to do to test is you are going to hold ground because this is a partner activity. Okay, your partner is going to hold click, but not touch ground. So if a second person, my imaginary friend, my pliers are going to be my imaginary friend, okay? If a second person is touching click and I'm touching ground, nothing will happen until my friend and I touch. So if I touch my friend's hand and they're touching click and I'm touching ground, that will activate it. It will flow, the electricity will flow through me, down my other arm, from the Makey Makey, through me, down my other arm, to my friend that I'm touching, through them, down their other arm, and into the click button, and complete the circuit. Okay, so I want you to try that. So doing it where one person holds ground, the other person holds click, and then you touch each other, and you should see it activate. That's a test activity that I want you to do. And then once you've done that, and you've gotten your Makey Makey to work alone by just touching, all right, and you've gotten your Makey Makey to work with a partner, where one of you is touching click and one's touching ground, and you touch each other. When you've done that, that's when we're going to start to get into the wires. Okay, so there's a link on my eClass page for you under 5th grade. When you click the little 5th grade circle on the computer science eClass page, there's a lesson there. You want rotation 2, because this is your second loop around to me. So not rotation 3, that's the next time you come. So rotation 2, all right? And there's a link in there to the Makey Makey apps. So there's a bunch of things that you can do with Makey Makey and get it to do. And there are some apps in there, and today you're just kind of playing with those apps and learning how the Makey Makey kind of works. Tomorrow we're going to do an experiment with the Makey Makey, all right? So you're going to take some alligator clips if you're using them. To make it work, you'll notice there's 2 holes here, and for each little ground place, there's 2 holes as well. So the holes are always in a pair because your mouth's going to bite them. Okay, the wire's mouth. So the top part goes in one hole and the bottom part goes in the other hole. So if I'm putting it in click, okay, notice, see how the mouth has one in the top hole, one in the bottom hole? That's what you want. Okay, and then this end, you can touch, you can connect to other stuff as long as it conducts, all right? And you can do activities that way. So remember though, you would also need something connected to ground. So the ground would be your like tapper. So I could put one here at space as well. So now I have one on space, and I can put a third one on one of the grounds. Get my wire to be a little bit out. Don't pull it all the way. Remember, just gentle, gentle. Get a little push. All right, so it's about like that. And then I'm going to stick that on ground. And now, if I touch, okay, if I touch my green ground wire to either my yellow or my white wire, I'm going to activate, yellow will activate the space bar, and white will activate the click. Okay, but it has to be metal touching metal, remember, to conduct. So right now, this isn't going to work. I would need to fix my ends of my alligator clips to make it work. Okay, so you can do this with wires. There are a few things in the room that you can use to connect your wires to. I have some metal spoons in the drawer in the back. Under the 3D printer, there's some paper clips in the supply drawers. You're welcome to use things you have that are metal or conductors. So any of that stuff, or you can just tap the wires to each other, okay, and activate things. So that's what you're doing today. You are going to experiment with your Makey Makey and try out the different apps on the Makey Makey apps. Remember, you can get to that link by clicking on 5th grade on my eClass page and then choosing second rotation, because that's what you're in, and it's going to show you the directions for today. All right, that's it for today, guys. Bye.